What's up, everyone? Back to the MLB The Show 16. Still getting used to that. MLB The Show 16 Blue Jays franchise. We are here today, and I don't want to do that. We are here today at the All-Star break, and we are also going to do the trade deadline in this episode. So we'll go through this All-Star stuff, and then I'm going to show you the midseason stats, and then I'm also going to show you the trade that we will be making. So let's play the home run derby, and we have Jose Bautista in. He looks like he is tied for fourth with 22 home runs. Steve Pearce having a great year. Everyone else is kind of usual offender. Giancarlo, Nelson Cruz, Chris Davis, Bryce Harper, Matt Kemp. Maybe a little bit surprising, and Carlos Gonzalez. Yeah, he only hit 21 home runs all of last year. So his slugging was through the roof. He's having a great year. Even at this point in his career, he's still pretty solid. So we will check out the All-Stars. I don't really expect... I don't know what to expect this team to look like. Actually, we'll look at the West, or the NL first. And so Kershaw, Syndergaard, they're both having pretty good years. John Lester, Aimee Garcia, and James Shields. Yuri's Familia. Jonathan Papelbon somehow made the All-Star team. It must be something with his number of saves he has. J.J. Hoover, Pedro Baez, Greg Holland, Jake McGee, and Mark Melancon, who was on the Cardinals apparently. I screwed that up. A.J. Pollock, Freddie Freeman, Bryce Harper, Carlos Gonzalez having a pretty decent year, power-wise, I guess. Adrian Gonzalez, Anthony Rendon, Jonathan Lucroy, Howie Kendrick, Gene Segura, Ryan Rayburn made the All-Star team. He's gotten 305 ABs this year. That's cool. Buster Posey, Devin Mesoraco, D. Gordon, Michael Franco. Or Franco. I think it's Franco, actually. Jose Reyes, Joey Votto, Chris Bryant having a crazy year. Yoenis Cespedes and Giancarlo. Oh, David Peralta also. So that's nice. On the AL side, we have Masahiro Tanaka, Jordan Zimmerman, Tyler Skaggs, David Price, Dallas Keuchel, Liam Hendricks out of the bullpen, former Blue Jay, having an insane year. Luke Gregerson, Houston Street, Brad Boxberger, it is Francisco. I was thinking it was Fernando for a second, but he did have a picture. And Roberto Ozuna and Andrew Miller. Lorenzo Cain, Michael Brantley, Nelson Cruz, George Springer, Manny Machado, Eric Osmer, Deandre Navarro, former Blue Jay, Jose Altuve, Elvis Andrus, Kurt Suzuki, Russell Martin somehow made the All-Star team, Logan Forsythe, Will Myers, Josh Donaldson, Jose Iglesias, Prince Fielder, C.J. Cron, Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, and Nomar Mazara. So Jose Bautista did not make it. That's pretty surprising, and you'll understand why that's surprising once I show you the stats for the season. So the NL has defeated the AL, so if we do happen to make it back to the World Series, we will not have home field advantage. So let's go through player stats first. Kevin Pillar, that's not how that's sorted. Troy Tulowitzki leading our team in hits. He's been short on games a little bit this year. Home runs, Jose Bautista, 22, is leading our team. RBI also leading our team despite the fact we moved him in the tool. Stolen bases, Kevin Pillar has 10. OBP, Bautista, Encarnacion, who's on the DL currently, Troy Tulowitzki, Colabello, all having pretty solid years, above 3.5. These 6 normals, and then Carlos Ruiz is also having a decent year, I guess. Slugging wise, it's pretty much the same. OPS, Bautista, Encarnacion, Donaldson, Colabello, Smoke, Tulo, and then Travis Pillar and Dalton Pompey, who just came up recently. And I think we're missing one. Yeah, Russell Martin's at 689, which isn't terrible. It's not the greatest, but we could be doing worse. Leading the team in doubles is Kevin Pillar, and triples is Ryan Goins. I don't think any of this other stuff is really that important. Or maybe WAR we can check. Bautista's only been worth 3.5. He would be worth more, but trying to think of the word. Oh, we moved him up in the lineup, we moved him to the DH, excuse me. That's what I meant to say. We moved him to the DH when Encarnacion got injured, so that's why he's kind of slowed down a little bit. Colabello is the third most valuable batter on our team. Troy Tulowitzki, Justin Smoke, these guys down here haven't really been worth a whole lot. And Ryan Goins has actually been negative, but I like his defensive stats, so holding on to him. Let's look at the splits. average versus left-handed pitching is obviously a lot better because we have a lot of right-handed guys, and we can go average versus right-handed hitters. Smoke's been pretty good, switch hitter, obviously. Colabello's been pretty solid this season. Pillar's been really good against righties, not so good against lefties. That's kind of surprising. And, yeah, Russell Martin's been terrible against right-handed pitching, but, you know, what can you do? All right, let's go to pitching. Wins. This is how our team looks. Innings pitched, Stroman, Gray, Estrada, Sanchez, Happ are all across the 100 mark about at this point in the season. Happ with a 4.20 ERA. All right, we'll get to that. Just walks. Yeah, Sanchez isn't having the greatest year. Happ's been. These guys have all been pretty solid, and obviously, like, these two are really good. But Sonny Gray's got a strikeout per inning. Sanchez and Happ are pretty close, as well as Stroman and Estrada. ERA-wise, Sanchez has been having a kind of rough year, probably because he walks so many, and J.A. Happ been kind of in the same boat, and Kelvin Herrera hasn't exactly been impressive. Estrada, Cecil, Sonny Gray, Stroman, Osuna, Kenley Jansen, Ryan Cook, Drew Storen, and Aaron Loup has been fantastic this year. He's actually leading our team in whip, and Kenley Jansen second in that setup role. He's been pretty good for us. Estrada and Osuna with 1.12. Drew Storen 1.18. Marcus Stroman 1.22. So really, it hasn't changed that much since last year. He's just, his K rate's gone up, and he's walking less people, it looks like. No, he's walking more people. No, he's walking less people, excuse me. And his home runs. That was a problem he had last year's home runs. It's Gray, Cook, yeah. This is pretty much gone as expected. Besides, Aaron Sanchez has been pretty disappointing this year. But what can you do? So quality starts 13, 11, 11, 10, and 7. So it looks like he's just had a lot of rough games. And he's been pretty solid in all the others. But leading our team in holds is Herrera, Jansen, Storen, Loup. Yeah. Hits allowed, that's not really important. Home runs, Estrada, Happ, Gray, Sanchez, Stroman. So Stroman's big key to success this year has really been that he's keeping those home runs down. He has like half as many as the second guy on our team, and he's been a 3-win pitcher at the halfway point of the season, so that's been really solid. He's really turning into the all-around ace that we expect him to be, but he needed a year off of injury, obviously. K rate, Jansen, Cook, Wilson, Cecil, Loup, Osuna, Gray, Storen, blah, 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 blah. Walks, that's our walk rate. Home run rate, that's that. FIP, Alex Wilson's been terrible. Everyone else has been pretty solid. Yeah, Aaron Sanchez has been a whole run worse than his FIP, so I'm going to bank on that turning around. And Happ has been almost exactly even, 4.20 ERA, 4.19 FIP. Estrada's been a little bit worse. Herrera's been a little bit worse. Or Estrada's been a little bit better, worse. Gray's been relatively even. Storen's been a lot better. Like his ERA's been better than his FIP. Osuna's been better. Stroman's been about the same. Cecil's been a little bit worse. And Cook's been about the same. Loop's been about the same. And Jansen's been, actually his ERA is a little bit higher than it should be. But, yeah, I don't think any of this is important. So we'll look at team leaders, and then we'll look at team stats, and we'll be on the way to the trade deadline. That's not what I wanted. That's also not what I wanted, but I'll show you real quick. This is the way the standings look. We've opened up a 7-game lead on the Baltimore Orioles. The Royals are leading the Central. They're the team we would be slated to face if the season ended today. The Angels are leading the American League, and the Astros and Orioles currently hold wild card spots, but it is a pretty tight race this year. It looks like about a 5-team race, and then the Mariners and Red Sox Athletics aren't too far out. It looks like there's about 4 teams that have already pretty much ended their season in the American League, but you never know. The Blue Jays were 500 at the midway point of 2015, and they went they did really good in the second half and went all the way to the LCS, so you never know. The NL East, it looks like the East has the best record, so the Nationals have the best record in the NL. They would face the wild card team. The Cardinals are leading the Central. It's kind of surprising. The Cubs are really friggin' good in this game, and the Cardinals actually really aren't. So they would face the Dodgers if the season ended. They have relatively similar records, although the Giants are on the trail right there, so it could end either way. The Giants, Mets, and Cubs are all tied for the 2 wildcard spots right now. Well, actually, it's the Giants that have the first spot, and the Mets and Cubs are tied. And then the Braves are 1 game out, the Padres are 5 games out, and the Pirates are 5 games out. A lot closer in the are not as close in the NL as the AL. Diamondbacks, Rockies, Reds, Phillies, Brewers, and Marlins all pretty much out of it at this point in the season. So that's the standings. League leaders, we'll look real quick. I don't really think we have that many. Batting average, 9th is Troy Tulowitzki. Hits, we don't. Tied for 11th is Troy Tulowitzki. At bats, 9th is Kevin Pillar, just because he's played so much. Doubles, we don't have anybody. Triples, we also do not have anybody. Home runs, Jose Bautista is tied for 3rd with Steve Pearce. So, and Donaldson's tied for 5th. So he almost actually made the home run derby himself. And doesn't look like we have anybody else. RBI, Bautista's 8th. That's really a product of the fact that he's hit 2nd this year because of his high OBP. We switched the lineup around a little bit. Runs, Donaldson's 3rd. Encarnacion is 11th. Stolen bases, we're not going to have anybody. Bases on balls, Bautista leads the league. Encarnacion is 3rd. Slugging percentage, Bautista's 8th. OPS, Bautista's 5th. Wins, we have Stroman tied for 7th with 8. Losses, Estrada only has 2 on the season. Sanchez only has 3. Happ and Gray only have 4. So our starters really haven't been taking a lot of decisions, it looks like. So that's pretty good. Saves, Ozuna's 5th. ERA, Stroman's 7th. And Sonny Gray's 13th. Home runs allowed, Stroman is tied for 1st with Irvin Santana and Alex Cobb. Shutouts, we don't have anybody. Strikeouts, Sonny Gray is tied for 8th with Anibal Sanchez and Lance McCullers. Complete games, no, we do not have that. Stroman has 114 and a third, which would be good for 13th. Walks, Estrada's only given up 21, that's tied for 5th, and Stroman is tied for 10th with 25. Whip, Estrada is 7th, that's pretty good. I don't see anybody else there. Although I imagine Stroman's pretty close. Stroman not tied for 6th. He is 6th with almost 3 wins on the season. Pitching WAR and batting WAR. Donaldson has 3.6. That's 8th, and then 9th right behind him is Jose Bautista. So look at how our team is standing, and then we'll go into the trade deadline. Batting average were 3rd. That doesn't matter. Runs were 5th, so I'm happy with that. Hits were 3rd. Doubles, that doesn't matter to me. Triples. Home runs were 3rd. RBI were 4th. Stolen bases, yeah, we're not going to be up there. We have been pretty good at percentage, though, it looks like. Oh, maybe not. We're actually, like, almost last, but whatever. Walks, this is a stat that I really like. We're 2nd in that, just behind the Cubs. Not very far. Total strikeouts, we're only 6th, so we're getting on base a lot, putting the ball in play, and getting on base too. Slugging, we're 2nd. That's not a surprise. OBP, we're actually tied for 1st with the Rangers, so I like that. I like OBP as a stat, because if you're getting on base like 35% of the time, odds are you're going to score a lot of runs. And we have the most total bases. Doesn't matter. We have the 4th highest fielding percentage. Not that that's a good metric to judge fielders on at all. 5th in the league, 5th in baseball in ERA, not just the AL. Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Saves were 2nd. That's not super important. But hits allowed were 5th. Runs allowed were 2nd. So our ERA, actually, we're outperforming our ERA. That's weird. It's because we have a good defense, I imagine. But yeah, runs allowed and earned runs. So we've only allowed 12 unearned runs all season. Home runs allowed were 2nd. Walks allowed, we're tied for 6th, so we just missed the top 5 barely. And strikeouts were 5th, so that's good because usually I don't think we had a very high strikeout rate last year, and we have the 2nd best record in the league. So that's pretty much that. So I'm going to cut out, and I'm going to work on trades, and I will see you if I make any trades. If not, this is going to be the end of the episode. Thank you guys for watching, if that is the case. So here is the trade we are going with. We are trading for Andre Ethier, left-handed bat, and pretty good hitting ratings, at least against right-handed pitching, which is kind of an area that we struggled in. I'm going to try and find him like a spot in some of those lineups, maybe move Kevin Pillar out, or I'll figure something out. If we, it's really just to have a better backup outfielder than Junior Lake. This is the only real thing that I was interested in on the trade block, and we didn't have to give up much. We gave up Shane Dawson, 23-year-old pitching prospect, not really ever going to turn into anything, I don't think, and then a 27-year-old minor leaguer who I had to put in to make the trade go through, as well as left fielder Derek Fisher, who I think is really a fringe prospect at this point. He is 23 years old, and he's only a 57 overall, so I doubt that he will ever make it to the bigs. So there's really no harm in this trade. We're probably going to let him walk at the end of the season, but I wanted the left-handed bat on the bench now, and with the versatility of Ryan Goins, we really can afford to trade for just an outfielder. So we're going to finish this trade. That is going to do it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Next episode, we'll be taking on the Boston Red Sox at Fenway, so stay tuned for that.